The Lord's Day. This is proof that Sunday is the Lord's Day. Well, we need to understand something, that it doesn't say Sunday in this text. It just says the Lord's Day. If we will go to Mark 2:23, I just want to look at this briefly here, because it is used, and this may help us when we're talking to some people about the Lord's Day. So if you want to turn to that text, I haven't got those up on the slide. I wanted each of us to look at this in our own Bibles. You might want to mark something here if you haven't marked it already. Now it happened that he went through the grain fields on the Sabbath, and as he went, his disciples began to pluck the heads of grain. And the Pharisees said to him, "Look, why do they do what is not lawful on the Sabbath?" This is a very interesting question. The question is, Yeshua, are you doing away with the Sabbath, or are you changing what's lawful and unlawful to do on the Sabbath? That was the issue. It's not that he's doing away with the Sabbath. They thought he was doing something wrong on the Sabbath. So he's not doing away with the Sabbath here. And he said to them, "Have you ever read what David did when he was in need and hungry? He and those with him, how he went into the house of God in the days of Abiathar, the high priest, and ate the showbread, which is not lawful to eat, except for the priests, and also gave some to those who were with him." So David went in and he got some food for them to eat on the Sabbath. So mankind, I believe what he's saying here with the next text, as we're going to see, is that man's needs need to be met, whether it's on the Sabbath or any other day of the week. And he said in verse 27, "And he said to them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath." This is kind of an interesting way that he said this. The Sabbath is made for man. It's just too bad it doesn't say the Sabbath was made for the Jew. Have you noticed that before? It was made for man. And when we go back to creation, it was given to Adam and Eve right at the creation. So the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. So what the people had been doing is they were worshiping the law instead of, number one, the lawgiver. And those to who the law was given, they put the law ahead of the ones that it was supposed to bless. And they had the cart before the horse, you might say. But the main thing is here, he says, the Sabbath was made for man and not man for the Sabbath. Therefore, the Son of Man is Lord of the Sabbath. So wouldn't that mean that if the Sabbath was made, I have a text that says that there was nothing that was made without Yeshua. So that would mean that Yeshua actually created the Sabbath day. Isn't that what that would mean? Can I say that? Is that Yeshua is the creator of the Sabbath day. Obviously, the Father was involved in this. I'm not trying to take anything from that. But Yeshua was the one that orchestrated, it would seem, by what Paul is indicating, and John, all things were made for him and through him. That's Yeshua. So if he says here that the Sabbath was made, then that would mean that Yeshua made the Sabbath. Who did he make it for? The Jew? No, that's not what he said. He made it for man. So when we're in today's culture, they've turned the Lord's Day into Sunday, which according to the word, if he is Lord of the Sabbath day, wouldn't that make it the Lord's Day? Am I like going too far when I say that? I would say that he would be Lord of the Sabbath, which would make it his day. That's why he's asked us to rest on his day, to honor him on the Sabbath. It's his day. We don't own this day. Of course, he owns every day. But he's asked us to remember him on his day and give honor to him on his day. It's pretty clear. And then right after that, it goes into the Sabbath controversy of healing. It wasn't about doing away with the Sabbath. It was a right to heal on the Sabbath. And of course, Yeshua was bridging that gap again. They were worshiping the day, and they forgot their fellow man in the meantime when Yeshua said, you got to feed them. And you know what? If you have to heal them on the Sabbath, that's okay too, because the whole thing, even the Sabbath, was for the benefit of mankind. It was not something to be worshipped.